Hey, welcome to A State of Mind. A State of Mind is a program featured right here on Unity Radio, Unity 979. I'm Ernie Floyd. This program featured and sponsored by QCC Quinsigamond Community College. Quinsigamond Community College is located at West Bolster Street right here in the city of Worcester, as well as Federal Street, downtown Worcester, and also there's a campus at Southbridge located out there in that town, and we appreciate them hosting QCC. For more information about QCC, go to qcc.edu. We have 3 guests here on the State of Mind. We have Allison Castaneda, we have Carolyn Roberts, as well as Carol Sabino. They are students at QCC. And ladies, welcome to A State of Mind.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's a pleasure to have you. QCC, as I mentioned before, when we have the State of Mind show, it gives us an opportunity to go inside QCC, find out what's happening, and what a better way to do it besides having you ladies on, because you're going to give me a wide variety, a diverse opportunities to share with what you guys do inside QCC. So Allison Castaneda, let's start with you. There's some big things happening going to be happening with you in the future. So let's start with your background first, as far as being a QCC student.
Yeah. So I'm Allison Castaneda. I am currently sophomore. I'm graduating on Thursday, actually, from QCC. I'm from Dudley, Massachusetts. Yeah, so I ended up at QCC just because it was the best financial option for me. I want to go to law school. So my ultimate goal is to be in a big law school. So that's a lot of money. So I think the thing that I always had in mind was, what could I do to save the most money while still getting my education? And it was QCC. And at first I was a little bit scared because of that stigma that community college isn't the same as regular college, but it's amazing. I love QCC. I've had some great opportunities being the PTK secretary. I've attended 2 different conferences. I met with the state governor. So it's been amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. And thank you for sharing that information with us. And going back to what you said earlier, being afraid and not sure about attending a community college. Does that come with basically when you come out of high school, everybody comes with that traditional thought of when everyone gets together and they start selecting and deciding what school they're going to go to, and everyone's talking about the 4-year school, and then you come along and say, well, I'm going to go to this 2-year school in QCC. And what did everyone say to you when you said that?
They didn't think it was really necessarily a smart option. It was kind of always a negative response. It was oh, you're going to community college. I feel like it's almost always looked down upon. I do feel like that stigma's shifting a little bit though, because community college is regular college. You just don't live there.
Yeah, and at the same time, the price is not too bad, huh? In some instances, right?
The majority of people can go there for free. So
yeah, exactly. So if your friends are going to the 4-year school, they have to pay for the first 2 years. And was your case, you go to the 2-year school and could be a little bit less. But then in the end, it's not how you start, it's where you end up, basically. And when people say, what school did you go to? And if you end up at a major 4-year school, whatever you decide to do, no one talks about how you got started. They always talk about how you ended up. Is that right? Pretty much?
Exactly.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. Once again, that was Allison Castaneda, and you listen to A State of Mind. I'm Ernie Floyd on Unity 979. And we have Carolyn Roberts. Carolyn Roberts, you have a special story too as well. You're a student at QCC. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I love QCC. I think it's great. I'm really so grateful for the opportunity to go there. Like Allison said, it's been free for me, which has been life-changing. I didn't think that I was going to be able to go to college, but that opportunity made it so that I could. And now not only am I almost done with my 2-year degree, but I'm looking forward to finishing a 4-year degree as well. And if I do well, then maybe I'll even go on to get my master's. So I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, thank you. Did you experience something like that with Allison experience? Whereas like anything else, you're in high school and you're amongst your friends and your peers and your family, and everyone's thinking about the 4-year school, and then you come along and saying, I want to go to a 2-year school. And they said what?
Well, so actually, I didn't even decide that I wanted to go to a 2-year school in high school. I thought I wasn't going to be able to go to college after high school. So for me, it was nothing. I just went into the workforce. And then when Mass Educate became available for people without degrees, then I finally had the opportunity to go to school.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
Mhm.
And Carol Sabino, you're a student there at QCC. For more information about QCC, go to qcc.edu. So Carol, tell us about your story. As I mentioned to the ladies, traditionally high school, or maybe in the case, world of work, and you decide, I'm gonna go to this 2-year school, and your peers and your family and your friends said what?
Yes, I'm a little bit older than both of them. I've already been to college once, and life happened. Got into the workforce, had 2 amazing children, got married. So then I decided to go back to school, and QCC was the way to go. Just as Carolyn said, Mass Educate became available for people who didn't have degrees. So this is why I chose QCC, readily available and very close to home.
Yeah, and that's what's nice about QCC is the fact that there's 3 different scenarios here. You can be coming out of high school, or you can be coming out of the workplace, or you've already been to high school and you already been to college, and you decide, something, I want to go back to school, and I want to improve myself in some areas, and QCC gives you that. It gives you that variety and those opportunities,
flexibility.
especially the price is always right too. And to find out more information about QCC, and we'll keep talking about free and opportunities, just go to qcc.edu. And I'll be more than happy to share that information with you. So let's talk about the fact that you're at school, all right? And we'll start with you, Allison. How did you hear about QCC in the first place?
It was in high school. One of my advisors told me about it because, like she mentioned, I was really scared of how the financial situation was going to look like for me, and I didn't even know that community college could have been an option. I just wasn't too educated on it. So my advisor was like, oh, they're having interviews for QCC, and if you pass the interview, you're getting on the spot. So it's like, okay, awesome. So I did the interview and I got in, and it was kind of a no-brainer for me. I just really wanted to get the 2 years done for as cheaply as possible.
How about yourself, Carolyn? How did you hear about QCC?
My younger brother actually was in the Gateway program at QCC, which is a way to finish high school before going on to college. So when I was looking into going back to school with the Mass Educate program and looking at different community colleges, he was already at QCC and he only had wonderful things to say about it. So I figured it would be great to go there because I already knew him and he already knew some of the professors and how great they were. So I decided to go there, and it's been great ever since.
There you go. So you had someone scout ahead for you.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you had to find out on your own, huh?
Yeah.
So, that's okay. All right, Carol, how about yourself?
Same thing, like Allison, I got a flyer in the mail from different community colleges, and I did the research myself, decided to go to QCC. But a flyer in the mail was what drove me.
Well, we have to thank QCC because we know a number of people that work at QCC, especially in the marketing promotions. We have Rose DeRico that's there. We have Sean Harris that's there. And I'm pretty sure Louis Bajaha, their president, loves the fact that he had these stories. I heard it, I read about it because I received something in the mail, or I may have saw a billboard, or maybe someone reassured me because somebody else went to the school itself. And these are good receptions, good reactions as far as attending QCC. Okay, so what made you decide to go? You heard about it, and I know you already mentioned it already, but at the same time, you still could have made other decisions to go somewhere else. So I'm gonna start with Carol.
Of course, QCC had an open house and had different flyers and programs. And as soon as I saw everyone sitting down and how much information was given to me on that first day, I was like, this is the college for me. So I attended the open house.
So you didn't receive any material from any other colleges in the area, or you may have, but for some reason, QCC happened to be it for you.
The thing is, my major is dental hygiene. So there's very few colleges that have that program, especially community colleges. So this was the closest for me. The flyer got me in. The open house got me in. And then I got a list of things that I need to do to get into the waiting list at the same time, at the same open house. So why not?
Yeah, there you go. Carolyn, how about yourself?
My brother ended up bringing me to the administration building at QCC one day because I was looking into applying to community colleges and seeing what my options were like. And I talked to an advisor who was so lovely and made everything so easy for me that I was like, well, if I'm already here, I might as well think about next steps and moving forward. And I looked at the course list, and they have a lot of good environmental science classes. At QCC, they have a lot of great earth science classes because I'm an environmental science major. And so, yeah, I just went forward with it and started going there.
Good for you. Allison, how about yourself? Not only just being informed about it, but eventually you got to make a decision. And you could have went to any institution anywhere in Central Massachusetts or the country or the world, and you decide to stay home and go to QCC. And why is that?
So I went to an open house as well. This one was like, you had like certain like meetings that you went to, and in one of them they gave like information about like all the different programs you could join and like the honor societies. And like with all the other colleges that I was like contemplating, they didn't have anything like that. So that's what really like brought my attention, like all the different opportunities to like be a part of the community was what really got me.
Okay, so let's do the 3-tier reminder here. So first, you were told about it, right? Then you had to make a decision about it. And now that you're there, what has motivated you throughout your time to stay at the college? Because you can leave anytime you want. You can get up to the door. Doesn't mean you still have to continue to go there. You can go for a year and then say, this is not for me. I'm gonna go somewhere else. But you continue to stay there. And as you just mentioned earlier, when we begin the show, you're about to graduate, Allison. So you're about to move on to the next step of your life. So what motivated you to stay at QCC?
I think just all the support and like all the amazing educators I had, like all of my professors have been amazing, and they've just been like there every step of the way, like helping me to the next step, which is why I graduated like relatively soon, because all my professors were there to help me. And just being part of PTK, being like, I'm also a school ambassador, so just being involved like really motivated me to stay there because all the opportunities that I was given.
Yeah, so you can accelerate there too. You don't have to go the full 2 years in a sense, or accelerate.
I mean, yeah, you could take more classes in a semester or summer classes and you could graduate early. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Carol, how about yourself?
I, like Allison, had a really great experience with most of my professors. I really like that a lot of the classes are very small, and a lot of the students are there because they actually want to learn. And so when you're in a group project with people, like I've never had a negative experience with my group members. Everyone actually wants to do the work, and you can ask the professors questions so easily because the classes are small, and the support there, like Allison said, is so great. I'm also a member of PTK, and one resource that I utilize all the time for almost all my classes is the subject tutoring and math tutoring centers. They're so great. They're open so much, and you can work one-on-one with another student, and they help you with any coursework that you might be struggling with. And that's really, really helpful for me, and I know for a lot of other people as well.
Great. How about yourself, Carol?
The reason why I decided to stay at QCC and continue to push forward is because of the flexibility. As most college students take full-time classes, take 4 classes, sometimes even 5. QCC gives opportunity to students to take less than that. There's semesters that I have taken 2 classes. There's semesters like summer 1 and summer 2 where I was able to take 1 or 2 courses there and advance faster. I think the flexibility that QCC has is amazing. I'm also part of the PTK, and I'm also part of the mentorship program. And my mentor, Jason, I just want to say hello. He's we meet once a month, and he, continues to guide me through the process. I'm also walking the stage on Thursday, and without all the help, it wouldn't have been possible.
Well, congratulations to each and every one of you guys for joining me here on the show. We've still got more to come. We're going to continue our conversation. And it seems though the common thread is the fact that you got introduced to the program. It had what you wanted. You're motivated. You ladies are really motivated into succeeding. And then QCC provided you the environment to allow you to succeed as well. They kept you guys there. And so now graduation is here, and you're ready for the next step. So we're going to continue our conversation when we come back, okay? So we're talking some really good stuff here. You listen to A State of Mind. It's a QCC show right here on Unity Radio. I'm Ernie Floyd. We'll be right back to continue on taking you aside Quinsigamond Community College right here on Unity Radio, Unity 979, Worcester's Community Connection.
Hello, my name is Alvin Familia, president of the Manny 267 Foundation, and you are listening to Unity Radio 97.9 FM, Worcester Community Connection.
This is Luis Pedraja, president of Quinsigamond Community College. Thanks for listening to State of Mind on Unity Radio 97.9. They keep our community connected, just like we do through education. Whether you're 18 or 80, it is never too early or too late to invest in yourself.
Hi, I'm Suzanne Graham Anderson, also known as Positively Suzanne, host of Black in Business, Thursdays at 5 p.m. on Unity Radio 97.9. Black in Business is a series of conversations with influential members of the Black business community. These entrepreneurs knows what it means to risk everything to create successful businesses and spark positive changes in the community. So join us. Again, I'm Suzanne Graham Anderson, also known as Positively Suzanne, right here on Black in Business, Thursdays at 5 p.m. on Unity Radio 97.9, Worcester's Community Connection.
Hi, I'm Ernie Floyd, host of the Unity in the Community Show on Unity Radio 97.9. Join me and my guests as we discuss topics on embracing our diverse cultural communities, the music, the arts, and healthy lifestyles. I'm Ernie Floyd, host of the Unity in the Community Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. on Unity Radio 97.9, Worcester's Community Connection.
Recreation Worcester is a free year-round program for youth run by the City of Worcester. The program enriches this city's youth in athletics, arts, academics, and social-emotional learning activities. Food is provided for free of charge for all youth participating in the program. Learn more at the Worcester Recreation website, www.worcesterma.gov/recreation-worcester. That's www.worcesterma.gov/recreation-worcester.
What's up, Central Mass? This is Angelo Gray, and we want to thank you for all your support. And you're listening to Unity Radio 97.9, Worcester's Community Connection.
Hey, welcome back to A State of Mind. I'm Ernie Floyd. The State of Mind is a QCC program that airs right here on Unity Radio, Unity 979. And we have Allison Castaneda, we have and we have Caroline Roberts, as well as Carol Sabino. And they are students at QCC, and they're excited, and they're taking an opportunity to come into Unity Radio to share their experience. And hopefully, by them sharing their experience with us, that you'll be encouraged to at least check out Quinsigamond Community College. We're going to be referencing it as QCC. And for more information, go to qcc.edu. So now it comes to the point where you guys are coming down, you're going past the 2 years. But for someone who's hearing our story and wants to enter into QCC, Allison, what can you share with us, actually, that if someone's thinking about QCC and share some of the angst or how you can possibly calm them down to say, it's not as bad as you think. I was able to go there. I found the professor. I found the classes. I found the different programs I wanted to pursue, and let's talk about the help that's there at QCC. They'll answer all the questions that you was afraid to ask, we'll say, okay?
So QCC has like so many different resources. We have the mentoring center, we have the advising center, and I think for me specifically, like my professors like themselves were very helpful in helping me navigate college. I was really scared of how my workload with also my actual work was going to look like. The teachers are very understanding, and I think it's not easy to juggle everything together, but everybody there is super understanding, and there's resources that you can access that I've been able to access, such as the mentoring. And I did the tutoring center for like 2 semesters, which was so helpful, and just the teachers overall.
So, Caroline, you think the professor is important to your development as you pursue your education as well? A good professor or could a bad professor affect you in reference to your development as well? What do you think?
I think a good or a bad professor could definitely affect what's going on, but I do think that most of the professors at QCC are great. They are all so smart. Like most of my professors have PhDs or at the very least master's degrees, and they're just so impressive with everything that they know. They're able to answer any questions that I might have. But I also think that they want to see you succeed. You're not just another student sitting in their class. You're a person that they want to teach, and they want you to do the best that you can. Like one of my professors shared with me a website that I could apply to a whole bunch of summer internships. And I got into a really cool internship this summer in Ohio that I'm super fortunate that I got into, but also I wouldn't have even known about it if it wasn't for her. So they want to see you do really cool things. They want to give you opportunity and have you take advantage of that. And that feels really good.
Yeah. How cool is that, Carol? What's the difference between a good professor and a bad professor? Or could that affect you in reference to your education development, or does it matter?
I definitely think it matters. I think a good professor from the get-go, from when they give you the syllabus, you notice what kind of professor they are. But also I've had experiences where professors were not as good as I thought they were, but they were open to conversations. They were open to emails. They were open to, so in that sense, I had to advocate for myself and ask for those syllabus or ask for things like that. So I've rarely had any bad experiences with professors. And if I did, I would just ask, and they're very responsive.
So, Allison, going back to you, what did you study there? I understand is you're going to go to political science at Worcester State University, something
Yes.
in that nature. So, what did QCC do to propel you to go to the next level as far as getting prepared to go to Worcester State University to go into political sci?
So my current major is liberal arts, but within the liberal arts major, there was a lot of government and political classes that I was able to take. So it set me up with I'm already halfway done with my curriculum that I need for Worcester State, and PTK also allowed me to attend the legislative breakfast where I met the governor, and I got to talk to people who were actually in the political field, which really encouraged me. I got to talk to them one-on-one. They talked to me about opportunities, about internships, so it was really amazing.
Yeah, Caroline, studying environmental science. Okay,
Yes.
Where do you want to go with that?
I would like to finish a bachelor's in environmental science for conservation and then get a master's in entomology so that I can study insects.
Well, there's plenty out there for the season that's taking place right now. Why
Indeed.
insects in particular? Usually people want to get away from insects. It seems as though that you want to study them and play with them for some reason. Why is that?
I like bugs. I think they're very fascinating. And I also think that because you said, a lot of people do want to get away from them, but they are so important for
That's
the
true.
environment. They are really important as pollinators. They're also really important just as prey animals that lots of other things like birds and rodents feed on. And they're necessary for our ecosystem. And so I think, some people have to care, and I'll take on the brunt of that if nobody else wants to.
Yeah. Okay. And Carol, yourself, background, tell us a little bit about your general studies, your associate degree. You kind of tapped a little bit on that, but expand upon that a little bit more.
Of course. So, like I said, my ultimate goal is to be a dental hygienist. Yes. So I'm in a big waiting list right now. Hopefully it'll shorten now that most dental hygienists are graduating right now. So they'll start calling people. So I didn't know that I could have picked another major while I wait for this. So while I was taking, the psychologies, the English 101s, all the things like that, I looked at the degree audit that was able to have me graduate from an associate's from general studies while I wait for dental hygiene. So, while I'm in the waiting list, why not, get an additional degree on there? Yes.
Well, as you know, everyone's busy these days, right? We're doing multiple different things. We're not just doing one thing all the time.
Correct.
And so it comes to this balance. Okay, you have your personal life, and then you may have your professional life. And then at the same time, you have your family just in general. It's like, how do you balance all these different things? Because then you have other people that want your attention as well. But then you're on a path of your own, and you want to pursue that path. And of course, along that way, there's always someone that wants to share their lives with you, and they want to get your attention. And how do you balance that by saying, okay, I like to talk to you, but I can't talk to you right now because I'm studying and I'm pursuing something? How's that received from your family or your friends or even your peers when you're trying to pursue your goals in life?
I think for me, it was a little bit difficult at the beginning trying to juggle everything. All of my friends were away, but my family also wanted to just still be super close, but I had a lot of stuff at school and work going on. So I think it's really finding that balance of what you think it's important. I've now learned that I just need to focus on my studies, and in that way I can make friends while being at school without having to shift my focus and yeah.
No, so Allison, have people approached you in the sense that whereas you've been friends for a while and your shift is taking place because you're not with that person as much as you used to be, and you're focused and you want to excel in life and you want to move on in a sense, but that person says, hey, why are you moving so fast? That might interfere, with your relationship with whoever it may be, and are they encouraging you to continue, or some of them are kind of a little bit on the selfish side, say, hey, we don't get to see you as much as we like to see you?
I think I get a little bit of both. I think I have one or two friends that are very encouraging, but I think most of them, since they're at big schools and stuff, they just don't understand what it's like being a community college student and having to work at the same time. So I think it's really about finding those people that want you to succeed and you will find time for those people. It's just like, during the semester, I think is the craziest time for everyone because, you have work and then you have finals, but then the time will come where you get to hang out with those people. So I think it's about how much they care about you and how much they're like willing to wait for you.
Well, Carolyn, when it comes to you, when it comes to your friends and your peers and your family, I know that you might have experienced this as well, whereas you spend a lot of time with special people in your life, and then you decide to, your life is changing. And as your life starts to change, you start to get a little bit selfish because you're motivated and you want to move on in life. Have you experienced some people saying, hey, Caroline, we don't get this chance to see you anymore, or we want to see you more? What do you say to that situation as far as adjusting your time, and how do you adjust your time?
I think I just do my best to make free time for the people in my life without compromising my own studying. I'm really, really fortunate that all of my friends and family are super proud of me that I work so hard. When they see me like buried in a book and not having time to do other things, they know that that's good for my future. And they, like Allison said, really want me to succeed. And that motivates me even more. So, but I am also very fortunate to have an accommodations director at the school. The accommodations department is awesome, and they have one accommodation that you can get sometimes is they will help you with scheduling. So I have been very fortunate to have access to that service, and they help me block out my schedule as far as work and study time and also free time, because I think it is really important to still see your friends and family even when you're very busy, because that makes it's good for your soul.
Yeah, I know Carol has been waiting for this question.
I'm holding myself here.
Newly married, got children, and you're going back to school. You've already experienced high school. You already experienced college, and all of a sudden you had a certain schedule with your family prior to going back to school. And then all of a sudden you woke up one day, I'm going to go back to school, and I want to do this with my life and that with my life. And your children and your husband and everybody in your family say, "Whoa, Mom, where are you? What's going on?" So when you started making that decision to take time for you, okay, and there comes a time and you're ready to go, what has happened in your situation?
I know most people keep their calendars on their phones. I have a little calendar that I open and I schedule people in. That's the only way I can balance. Since I'm going to school for dental hygiene, I am actually a dental assistant right now. And I'm lucky enough to be able to have a way to schedule myself to work only certain days. And then that's the way that I, balance work with my children. They go to school. They're a little bit older now. They're 13 and 11. So they go to school, and then right after they go to the Boys and Girls Club. So I always have a little bit of wiggle room to meet with friends, maybe at lunch between classes. People come here, I meet them, and that's the way that I balance my calendar. And my friends are very understanding. They know that I'm trying to advance in life, and they're very supportive. I haven't had a very close friend fall out because of what I'm trying to advance. So I think it's a great balance that I have for myself. And when I do need to have time for myself without studying or working or kids, I do that once a week, because I think it's very important for us to give to ourselves. Let it be paint your nails, let it be, get a massage, things like that. So yeah.
I highly commend you guys as students, because each one of you guys come from different backgrounds, different perspectives, and this is a good opportunity to have this discussion, because the people that are listening out there, whether they're coming from a high school or they already went to school, or they have a family, or they're just coming out of college, and other different aspects as well, or wherever they may be coming from. These are different scenarios that average people are listening to and hoping that, okay, maybe I'm in this situation or I'm on that situation as far as I want to go to a 2-year school. And all these different comments that you guys are helping me with and this discussion is, I'm pretty sure it's making an impact with somebody. And that's happened in a lot of different instances when we have our show here called State of Mind here on Unity Radio. So we have Allison Castaneda, we have Caroline Roberts, and we also have Carol Sabino, and they're joining us, and they're students at QCC, which is Quinsigamond Community College, located here in the city of Worcester on West Bolster Street. They're also located downtown on Federal Street, and they have a campus in Southbridge at Southbridge High School. So we're going to continue this conversation. When you come on back with us, we're talking about a state of mind here on Unity Radio. I'm Ernie Floyd on Unity 979, Worcester's Community Connection.
Hey, this is Ricky Duran, and you're listening to Unity Radio on 97.9 FM, Worcester's Community Connection.
Hey, what's up, Worcester? It is Jacqueline Carr, and I'm inviting you to be inspired with me each weekday morning starting at 5 a.m. with the Jacqueline Carr Show on Unity Radio. I'll get you going with the motivating words, special guests, and the absolute best inspirational music, and a few other surprises. But you got to tune in to Unity Radio every day at 5 a.m. to get your praise on. It's the Jacqueline Carr Show from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. right here on Unity Radio 97.9, Worcester's Community Connection, and also streaming on WUTY.org.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Q, host of the Woo 508, and I'm here with
your girl Liza. It's consistency.
And it's your girl Chantel in the building.
Yes, y'all. Go ahead and follow us everywhere. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, the Woo 508. That's THEWOO 508.
Woo! Roll me a skin, roll me a bone. Step into the Woo 508. Now you're in the zone.
Support for Unity Radio 97.9 FM is provided by United Way of Central Mass, aiming to improve the community and break the cycle of poverty, and the Woosocks Foundation, seeking to make dreams come true for families in areas of education, social justice, recreation, and conquering cancer. Unity Radio, Worcester's Community Connection.
Tune in to Affirmations with Alex, and together we will affirm our way to a healthier mindset by listening to empowering messages. Hi, I'm Alex from Affirmations with Alex. Join me every Monday through Thursday at 10 p.m. on Unity Radio 97.9 FM, Worcester's Community Connection.
What's up, Worcester? It's your boy AG, better known as Angelo Gray. And you're listening to Unity Radio 97.9, Worcester's Community Connection.
And once again, welcome back to A State of Mind. I'm Ernie Floyd. State of Mind is a program featured right here on Unity Radio, Unity 979. And thank you for joining us. Once again, qcc.edu for more information if you want to pursue your education. And joining us is Allison Castaneda, and she's a student at QCC, as well as Caroline Roberts, and also joining us is Carol Sabino. When it comes to programs here at Quinsigamond Community College, I think one of the cool things is what I've heard is the fact that you can attend the program, be a part of a club, they call it right there. Or in some instances, if they don't have something of your interest, you may figure that, something, I'm gonna start my own, okay? So let's start with Carol in reference to what clubs in particular you're attracted to, and then we'll get into the conversation about if you want to start your own club.
Of course, yeah. So my life is really busy. I don't have really the time to join the club, but I am a part of the PTK, the Honor Society, and I also volunteer at the food pantry in the college.
Mm-hmm.
So those are two things that I'm actively volunteering with. And PTK is very welcoming to honor students, and the food pantry is also very welcoming.
When it comes to PTK, that stands for something, of course. I know what it stands for. Obviously, you guys know what it stands for. But it's a very important program on the campus of Quinsigamond Community College right here in the city of Worcester. So, Carol, why would you say that program is important?
Yeah, so
in the name of the program.
Yes, Phi Theta Kappa. Yes, of course. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's very important because they provide a lot of help, a lot of guidance. We volunteer, we go to events, we hand out items, and it's just a good way to volunteer and give your time back. And they're also very supportive with us. There's scholarship programs. There's a lot of things like that. And then also that's how I got into the mentoring program through PTK.
Mm-hmm. Caroline, yourself as well, you're part of PTK.
Yes,
You've been
I am.
involved with that. Tell us about your experience there and why were you attracted to PTK as well as other different clubs that QCC, Quinsigamond Community College, offers.
Yeah, so I was attracted to PTK mostly because I was an honor student, so I qualified, and they reach out to all honor students who qualify, and so I figured I might as well do this thing. They make it really easy for you to get connected with volunteer opportunities, like Carol was talking about. I have volunteered for the past couple of years with the National Stem Cell Registry, which is something that we do once every semester at QCC. And it's really fun. And the volunteers that come from the National Stem Cell Registry are always very, very nice. And they make it fun for you to volunteer. And I also was attracted to the scholarship opportunities, and just the idea of being in a club is really nice. Having something that you can easily connect with other students about is always really nice. Yeah.
Allison, how about yourself? PTK. I got a royal flush here. Everybody's involved with PTK. Something special about it that applies to you, as well as share with us some of the other different clubs that you were interested in when you're attending QCC.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like part of PTK. I'm actually the secretary. So I got to be really super involved with PTK. I actually went to their international conference in March, and it was a really great opportunity to kind of just like advance my education as well, because they had a lot of different workshops, and just like I brought so much information back about how to be a better student. There's also, like they mentioned, there's a lot of volunteer opportunities and just a way to get like involved in the community. I'm also school ambassador, which is not technically a club, but it's also an opportunity to volunteer, which is I work closely with Jean Kennedy. She's the honors director of the honors program. And I just kind of helped her, like, we are trying to navigate how college life can be hard for students and how to get them to be in the honor program without like being overwhelmed. I know a lot of my friends are also in Psi Beta, which is a psychology club. Like that's been really big. And I think I just heard from Caroline that you can also start your own club, which I didn't know about, which is really cool. I think I would have done that if I knew about it. So yeah.
Once again, we talked about balancing life when it comes to your personality, it comes to your the personal and the professional and your family and your peers as well. But then when it comes to your programs that are taking place at QCC, when it comes to the clubs and the organizations there, why is it important to get involved with those particular clubs in reference to the campus life and the social aspect too, as well at QCC? Is there a social life basically at QCC? Because don't forget, QCC obviously is a 2-year school, doesn't have the traditional dorms, and depending upon how long you stay on campus, tell us about the social life there, if any, at QCC. Caroline.
I have made lots of good friends at QCC. I've been really fortunate to meet people. Most of the people that I've met that I've become pretty close with have been people that I've met in labs, because you're working one-on-one with like a partner to do something together, opposed to like a lecture or a class where you're just sitting. There's not as much group work and communicating with other students that goes on. But I do think that clubs are super valuable because, like you said, you're not living in a dorm. And I also think that like talking with your peers and meeting people is really important to everyday life. And so I think clubs are a great way to do that, especially Phi Theta Kappa, and even just hanging out in the cafeteria or the library. They have really great like 2-person study rooms in the library that I love using with classmates to study for upcoming tests. Like right now I'm studying for finals. I did that last week with a couple of my peers. So yeah.
So, Carol, why is it important to be involved with the club? We've got a lot going on in our life. You have your family, you have your friends, and everything else that goes on just naturally living these days. And then all of a sudden you decide, you know something, I want to join a club. Just add more to your list there. Why is it important to do that?
I think it's very different having somebody who knows you all the time, 24/7, and then just having somebody in class, in lab that you can hang out with. So I think using the library, using the rooms in accordance with the lab partners, I think that's where you start building those friendships. And after that, together, we find out that we're both in PTK, and we both find out that we both volunteer at the food pantry, and that creates a sense of community within the college.
What about yourself, Allison? Why is the clubs important to you?
I think like you mentioned, I think that's what really grew like my social life at QCC. I think for my first 2 semesters, I was pretty quiet. I didn't really have any friends. But I think as I started joining clubs and like actually like being with people one-on-one more often, like allowed me to create those friendships. And like now I have like so many friends at QCC. So I think it's also a matter of like just putting yourself out there. And just also remembering that like, yes, your education's important, but like having friends and like having other people around you is also important, because we're human and it's kind of like, we're not robots. So it's like a little bit hard to just like do college without like any friends or any like sort of support group around you.
Yeah. All you ladies are in. Joining us is Allison Castaneda, Caroline Roberts, as well as Carol Sabino, and their students at QCC, and I'm Ernie Floyd, and you listen to A State of Mind. Let's go back. Everyone's been attending QCC for the last 2 years, right? It's fair to say. Okay. So with that being said, you're in a different stage of your life, mind-wise, personal-wise, professional-wise, and just in your mindset in general, because Lay's about to graduate, you're about to move on. So let's stop right there and let's go back to the very beginning before you entered into QCC. What was your state of mind, no pun intended, prior to coming to QCC, and where is that state of mind right now? Carol.
When I first decided to go to QCC and I held everything by the hands, I felt kind of lost. I didn't know where I was really going. I had a goal set in mind, but I didn't know how I was going to really get there. So that's why I think it's really important for us to utilize all the services that QCC has, because that's what brought me in. But in the beginning, I was very, I was like, I'm not sure if this is the right idea. Should I take 4 classes? Should I take 2? In my point of view at that moment. But the advising center, the SAS, which I also use, which is the student accommodations department, I use them. I use a lot of many services, and they really helped me overcome that little fear. And then as I started taking the classes, I was like, hey, it's not so bad. I can, reduce the amount of workload that I give myself every semester. And that's how I was able to graduate this Thursday.
Thank you for that, Carol. Caroline, 2 years ago, you were something. And 2 years later now, you're something, but you're even better. So give us a perspective. When you first entered the QCC, what was your state of mind? And where is it today, 2 years later?
When I first got to QCC, I was really excited and grateful for the opportunity, but I was also very, very scared that I was going to somehow mess it up, because this was like, I'd always wanted to go to college, and this was like the chance that I got, And so I was really scared that I wasn't going to be able to do the things that I wanted to do with that. And I was going to get bad grades and not be able to transfer into a good enough college afterwards. But it's been amazing. Everyone has helped me, like my professors and my peers in the tutoring center. And I just feel like it was the right decision. And I'm so excited to keep continuing my education. And yeah, I feel even more motivated than I did at the beginning. So
thank you for that. Allison, 2 years ago, coming into QCC, you had a certain mindset. Here it is 2 years later. Where's your mindset at today?
Looking back, I was really nervous and scared of what community college was going to be like for me. I think as I mentioned, I got a lot of negative feedback at first. So I was kind of like, I'm going to community college, all my friends are going to the big schools. I was scared as though I wasn't going to succeed as much as I wanted to. And now that I'm graduating, I was recognized at the honors awards a couple times as well. And it just showed me that community college was really the place for me to be, because I got so much. I was involved in so much, and I got to do so much that my other friends that are big schools, they don't got to do. So I just feel very grateful, and I'm very I feel more motivated now to continue school. I just feel like I had so much support, and it just I feel like I can do anything now.
Mm-hmm. So you guys definitely have earned the respect from your family, earned the respect from your friends, but most importantly, the fact that you guys inside you has taken this challenge and said, I don't know what to expect. I think I know where I want to go. And now 2 years later, you definitely know where you want to go now. And also the fact that I was able to do that, even though the fact that I was nervous at first, but you guys conquered those challenges. But don't forget, about to graduate soon, and there's going to be more challenges going your way, but at least you got past the first step. And thank you for sharing that with me. I'm Ernie Floyd. This is a State of Mind right here on Unity Radio. When we come back, we'll continue this discussion about QCC. For more information about QCC, which is Quinsigamond Community College, qcc.edu. So come on back for a State of Mind right here on Unity Radio, Unity 979, Worcester's Community Connection.
Unity Radio. Worcester, we've got you.
Hi, this is Luis Pedra, president of Quinsigamond Community College, and you're listening to State of Mind on Unity Radio 97.9. Whether you're starting your career or changing direction, QCC is here to help you succeed.
Yes! I finally got my first phone!
It is exciting. Let's learn a few things about online safety first.
Online security depends on you and me. Install updates, make better passwords, everybody that's how we get together.
Learn more at CISA.gov/secure our world.
Hi, I'm Suzanne Graham Anderson, also known as Positively Suzanne, host of Black in Business, Thursdays at 5 p.m. on Unity Radio 97.9. Black in Business is a series of conversations with influential members of the Black business community. These entrepreneurs knows what it means to risk everything to create successful businesses and spark positive changes in the community. So join us. Again, I'm Suzanne Graham Anderson, also known as Positively Suzanne, right here on Black in Business, Thursdays at 5 p.m. on Unity Radio 97.9, Worcester's Community Connection.
Unity Radio is streaming at WUTY979fm.org. We'd like to thank our listeners and supporters.
TD Bank, America's most convenient bank. TDBank.com. Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare of Worcester. HarvardPilgrim.org. And Wings Over Worcester. WingsOverWorcester.com.
Unity Radio, Worcester's Community Connection.
You're listening to Unity 97.9 FM, WUTY, Worcester.
And once again, this is A State of Mind. I'm Ernie Floyd, right here at Unity Radio. The State of Mind is a QCC program, Quinsigamond Community College program that's honored and also respected. And we play it back here on Unity Radio. Joining us are students from QCC. We have Allison Castaneda. We also have Caroline Roberts, and we also have Carol Sabino, and they're sharing their experience and giving us insight on their experience on entering into a college. In this particular case, QCC is a 2-year college versus a 4-year college, but it's all the same. College, the experience is experience, right? Yeah. More or less. Okay. So going forward, okay, social life. We talked about social life. What do you plan on doing? Because graduation is right around the corner. Okay. The moment you guys been waiting for after 2 years. Okay. So I'm pretty sure in the back of your mind, there's some reflection in reference to the fact that you made some friends, you participated in some clubs, and there's some people you're going to take with you, and there's some people you're going to leave behind in some sense. Okay. So Caroline, time for graduation. Where are we going after that?
I actually have one more semester before I graduate. And there's a few different colleges that I'm considering, but I will probably end up going to Smith College in Amherst.
Oh, it's an all-girls school, I believe, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
yes.
Good for you. And why particular Smith? What does Smith offer you?
So Smith is, I have a friend who goes there right now and she really loves it, but also their financial aid options are phenomenal. So if I were to get into there, they would cover all of tuition, including housing and a meal plan, which would be really, really amazing. And they're part of the 5 College Coalition with, I believe, I know UMass Amherst, Amherst College, and there's a couple others that I forget off the top of my head, but Smith College is one of them. And you can actually take classes at the other colleges for, like I'll be able to take colleges at UMass Amherst or Amherst College for Smith tuition, which is great because UMass Amherst has some really good environmental science classes that Smith doesn't have. So I'll be able to have more access to more classes while still staying at Smith, which will be great.
Yeah, well, you'll be right in your environment because Western Mass has plenty of bugs and insects out there in that particular environment as well. And Allison, even though Caroline has another year, and I try to project it to get her to go faster, but she's not accelerating. But you are, in a sense. You're about to graduate pretty soon. And tell us about graduation and what's this going to mean to you when you cross that stage, and what's the next step coming to you as you go further into your endeavors.
So the next step for me is going to be Worcester State. I'm majoring in political science and I'm doing a minor in pre-law. The ultimate goal is to go to law school. Hopefully get into a big law school. That's my goal. So yeah.
Yep. So what do you hope to accomplish at Worcester State? And once again, it's like a repeat here now. Going to foreign territory when you're entering another college. It's a similar in nature as you entered QCC. But what do you hope to expect when you go into Worcester State University? Now that you have that pre-experience, if you will, by entering into QCC as a college, are you ready to take on any of those challenges as you start to go to Worcester State University? You think you're going to experience the same thing, walking through the doors for this new environment, this new habitat, or are you going to think that it's not it's easier than I thought?
I think it's probably going to be easier than I think. My course load looks pretty much the same. Obviously, I feel like I'm a little nervous just because I don't know anyone there. I'm sure I'll eventually make friends, but at least I've already got over my first experience of college, overall. So I'm not that scared for that. But I'm just also really excited to actually do something with my major because they didn't have that at QCC, but they offered me classes related to the major. So I'm excited to actually get to now do what I want to do. And I know they have a lot of internships that I have to do to graduate. So I'm excited to do that as well.
Well, we have another person, Carol. You're leaving the QCC nest too as well, and you're moving on. And tell us about what you hope to experience as you graduate as well. And what does it mean, graduating again and again? Because you had high school, you had college, previous experience already, and again. And what do you hope the reaction will be from your family and your friends? And at the same time, what do you wish to do after graduation?
Of course. So walking that stage will mean everything, not just to me, but to my children. As they are also going to school, my little one will be graduating elementary school. My second born will be graduating middle school, and then I'll be graduating college. So I think everybody's going to have, none of the graduations are on the same day, which is great. So we can attend each other's. But it's going to mean everything. It's going to mean everything walking through that stage. After graduating from this general studies degree, I am going into the workforce because, as I mentioned, I'm just waiting for QCC to open up a seat for me at the dental hygiene program. So right now, after I graduate, I'll just be working in the meantime until I get called. And when I get called, it'll be another 2 years for me at QCC.
Okay. So do you feel as though QCC has prepared you? Are you confident? Are you ready? Or is there still a little bit more you have to uncover before you move on to the next step?
No, sir. I am ready to be called tomorrow if they do it. QCC has prepared me for the past 2 years to be able to take these classes, and also my children see me. My children see me, and they are my motivation, and QCC just supports that.
Caroline, even though you have another year, are you on course? Are you set and you feel pretty comfortable in reference to the direction you're going right now with QCC?
Yeah, I'm so excited. Yeah, I have my internship this summer in Ohio where I'm going to be studying species relations between plants and insects and the effects of human-dominated landscapes on those specifically. And that's going to be really great, not only for determining if I want to do more field or more lab work going forward, but also it'll just be great career building and a really fun time in general.
Allison, are you ready? Ready for the next step? But to graduate, moving into new territory, which is Worcester State University. Congratulations. Do you feel prepared? Are you ready to go?
Yeah, I feel 100% prepared. I think all my teachers did a really good job preparing me, all the courses I took. So yeah, I'm really excited for what's to come next. And
okay, so as we're coming to the end here in this discussion, okay, what advice would you have for any students that's considering going to QCC? Who is to take that on first? I know I've been going around the room to different people. Let's see, who wants to start first? Okay, Carol.
That's the second time you've done that.
You gotta watch out for the left hook there.
Okay, no. I'm ready. I'm ready. An advice I would give to any student trying to go to Quinsigamond Community College is go ahead. Go ahead, get the advisors, show up to the open houses, pick up flyers, things like that. Get informed before you go. It's never nice to go into an experience without being informed, and that's what helped me. I gathered so much information from the college that it was a choice to go. So I feel like this is a very good opportunity for anybody who's trying to advance their career. And as we mentioned, Mass Educate, QCC is part of Mass Educate, which, gives adult students after 21 the opportunity to go to college for free. So I feel like if you're not going to college right now, then what are you doing?
I really appreciate that. Allison, You're moving out the door, and what advice would you give for other students that actually what's funny is coming right behind you? How's that? As you turn around, you look back, you look over your shoulder. What could you share with those individuals that are behind you that are coming up in same path that you're gonna that you have taken?
I think I would definitely tell them to not be scared. And, if people are saying that community college is not going to make them successful, to not believe that, and that you will have a really good time at QCC and that the resources are there and that you will be successful. It definitely won't be easy. I will say that, because being at community college, being a student overall is hard. But, most people at community college work and balance other stuff. But I think just stay committed and don't be scared would be like my biggest advice.
All right. So Carol's leaving, Allison's leaving, but Caroline, you're still there. And so you still have people that are still behind you as well as you start to progress as well. You have one more year. So what would you say to those individuals that come up to you and say, hey, what does QCC offer? And should I consider QCC? And what would you say?
I would say you should absolutely consider QCC. And I also would say to take advantage of every resource that they try and give you. There are campus jobs, there are access to internships, there's access to transfers for other schools, either like whether or not you've finished at QCC. There's access to so many different classes, online or in person. And also the mentor program. They want to help you do the best that you can. And I think so many people are scared to access that because they think it's more difficult than it really is. But like they make it so accessible for people. And I just think like you should take advantage of every opportunity that comes your way.
Well, thank you, ladies, for joining me here on another edition of A State of Mind. And I have some signs for you. You guys can take as you walk down the street. It says, go to QCC. I went to QCC. You should go to Q. I'm just kidding. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me here on A State of Mind. I really enjoyed having this conversation with you because I know that someone is listening out there is probably going through a little bit of what everybody's experiencing right here. And college is a huge decision to make in your life. And at the same time, making a decision in reference to yourself and making that decision and knowing where you want to go and how you want to get there is really important, because there are people out there that want certain things but just don't know how to get there. So we recommend at least start with QCC, right? So go to qcc.edu if you're still trying to find yourself. One instance, it's affordable, I believe, right? We talked about that. Two, you can make some friends, join a club. And if you don't like that club, make your own club, right? So go over and take over the college, whatever you like. QCC is located West Boylston Street, right here in the city of Worcester, as we know. Federal Street, downtown Worcester, and also you can visit them out there in Southbridge, in the little town of Southbridge at Southbridge High School. Ladies, thank you for joining me again. Once again, Allison Castaneda. We have Caroline Roberts, as well as Carol Sabino. Continue success for all you ladies, and thank you for joining me on State of Mind.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Thank you. Once again, State of Mind, you was listening to on Unity Radio, Unity 979, and I'm Ernie Floyd. Thank you very much for joining us.